Parker, Colorado has the 7th most moved to zip code in the entire country. Out of all the places people could move to, Parker has cracked the top 10. Let's talk about why. Hey everybody, it is Alyson, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. I have lived in Parker with my family now for a decade. Before that, I was in Highlands Ranch for about a decade, and I have helped so many families move into Parker and across South Denver. So this ranking for Parker does not surprise me at all. And Parker has been on the radar for quite some time. It was just a few years back when it was ranked the #1 place in the entire US to raise a family, and the momentum hasn't slowed down. It's just that now Parker is no longer a little hidden secret. The word has definitely gotten out. Parker has what I call the magic trio: big city convenience, small town charm, and real value. You get all the stores that you love here, loads of opportunity for space, definitely can find yards that are not postage stamp size over here, open space out your back door, trails, and all of that for a price per square foot, a total dollar value that beats many other places across the entire Denver metro area, including here in South Denver. If by chance this is the first you're really digging into Parker, let's tackle these one by one. First up, the small town charm. I will tell you, everything from the farmers market to the small shops, there is such a unique vibe to Parker that really draws people in. I think our Parker Main Street is best viewed in the evening when the lights are lit up and they string from building to building across the street. At Christmas time, they line all of those trees with beautiful lights and big snowflakes, and it is really quite magical. Parts of the street are lined with historic buildings, and then they are building new buildings as well. So there is modern, there is historic. There's really a nice mix of elements along with the trees down the center of the esplanade. So you have a little bit of everything that you want in this small Main Street district. The farmers market is there from May to October every Sunday, and it is a long market, and that is a nice thing. There aren't very many large farmers markets around. One of my favorites in Platt Park, by the way, in Denver, and I love our Parker market too. Loads of local bakers. They have lines that are so long by the time the market opens first thing in the morning, they sell out. There is a lot of fresh produce that's coming in. It's a great place to get your Palisade peaches and fresh stuff for the week to make your vegetable pastas, all that sort of thing. And with the library anchoring one end of Main Street and a big park and some ice cream shops and treat shops anchoring the other end, it is a great way to spend time with the family and friends, a date night, walks. There are restaurants in between. So everything about this stretch screams small town. And then around it, you have all of your big city conveniences. You have a Trader Joe's, you have a Sprouts, you have a Whole Foods, which is about to open. We have a Costco. There are 2 hospitals nearby. We have the one that's over Skyridge, so you'd head toward I-25. We have the one on the north end of Parker that is our Parker Hospital. Target, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, pretty much 2 of everything, along with all the traditional grocery stores, little shops, boutiques, places to eat. And there are locally owned businesses and restaurants. A few more of those you'll find here than you might find in a place like Highlands Ranch. It seems to be a little more expensive for locally owned restaurants to set up shop there than it is here. So you do have a chance for finding something that is local flair, locally owned, supporting small business, which people love to do. And the part that really sets Parker apart from nearly every suburb up and down the Front Range is the value. When you look at the numbers, you really do get more home, more land, more space, more of our Colorado blue skies for your money in Parker than you do nearly everywhere else. Over the last several months, the average price for a 4-bedroom home in Parker is running $706,000. Compare that to Highlands Ranch, it's running $743,000. If you're looking for an acre of land or more, over the last few months, for Parker, we're looking at a median price of $1.3 million. Now that's including some larger acreage. We're just looking at an acre or more. You want to go over to Littleton, you want to try doing that on the west side of town, you're at 1.6 is your median, and up from there. There was a home that was $6 million on acreage over there. Now you can find some really stunning acreage properties here in Parker, but you're just going to pay less. And on a price per square foot basis, if we're looking at a 3-bed, 3-bath home, which is usually a 2.5-bath home, Parker is running about 8% less on a price per square foot basis than what you would find in Highlands Ranch, and about 9% less than what you would find in Centennial. And when we dig a little deeper past those big three and where the lifestyle piece kind of answers all the yes questions and dig into schools and neighborhoods, the answer is still yes when people look at Parker. For the school piece, you're in a Douglas County School District, which consistently ranks very well. And there is a lot of choice beyond just the neighborhood schools. So there are your strong neighborhood schools that are Douglas County aligned. There are charter schools that rank very well and give more choice, that are also no to low cost. Usually the fees in the charter schools might be a little higher than the fees you would pay in your public school, but you're generally still below the $750 a year per student for that. And then you have private schools, and there are quite a few options even on this Parker side to put students into private school as well. So just the opportunity for choice here excites a lot of people. We talk about that when it comes up and they're saying, my gosh, I don't even know what to do. We've always had to put our kid in this neighborhood school. I just went to a neighborhood school. And the parents and I talk about same thing for me. I didn't have a lot of choice when I grew up. I went to Florida, which doesn't spend a lot on education. And so to see all the options that our children have had and that are offered in front of us here really excites families. And then Parker goes and makes it hard by making so many choices available in the neighborhood department. The real challenge becomes, where do I want to live in this amazing town? Well, there is so much for you to choose from lifestyle-wise. You could choose Stonegate, a very popular centrally located neighborhood that gets you not far from I-25, not far from the center of town, not far from 470, depending on which way you're going to be commuting. Which schools do you want to be around? Stonegate has an elementary school that's situated very close to much of the neighborhood. You have so many amenities. There is volleyball, there are trails, there's pools, clubhouses, the sidewalks, very mature tree-lined streets all around for taking walks with the kids, with dogs, with grandkids, with friends. It's a fantastic place to be. The houses aren't too large, and you're generally not finding anything too small that you're just like, oh my gosh, it's not even an option. It's more a matter of, where do you want to be in Stonegate? You could pick something that's focused on privacy and quiet, like the Pinery, where when you wake up and you have your coffee, it's counting the deer in the backyard, seeing which mamas brought their babies through. Are there any bear out there today? Usually that's not so common, but it happens. And that quietness of being surrounded in the pine trees and having larger acreage around you is incredibly popular. And you're still 5 minutes from one grocery store, 10 to 12 minutes from every convenience you want, and you're not far from Castle Rock and the outlets and the dining and the shopping there as well when you're on that south end where the Pinery is. You could pick a neighborhood like Idlewild and Canterbury, where you have Toll Brothers homes, you have golf course homes, you have trails that wind with mountain and meadow views, because everyone always seems to want the mountain views here, and I can't blame you. Pools, clubhouses, fitness centers, a coffee shop right inside the neighborhood. The elementary, middle, and high school are all in that one neighborhood for that area. So everything stays really close to home, and you're automatically building community around that lifestyle right there if you have kids, because everything is right inside the neighborhood. And if that's not speaking to you, you've got all the new build communities where they have the clubhouse and they have all sorts of get to know you groups. Moms are walking the little ones after the older kids go to school. There are book clubs, there's whiskey clubs, so many activities to get the neighbors together and connecting and meeting so that nobody feels alone, as everyone is moving into this place where they're still building houses and no one knows each other yet. And not to be outdone, if you don't want to get to know your neighbors, Parker is the spot in all of Denver to be close to town, close to the airport, not terribly long commute into downtown if that's something you have to do, and still have acreage. And I mean acreage. Like, you can get a lot of space in Parker, be very far from your neighbors, and you're not paying out the nose for it. So all of this is why Parker is checking the box for so many people across the country. It hits on the emotional checklist. It hits on the practical checklist. Will we feel like it's our hometown hub? Does it meet our needs for schools? Does it give us all the options we need for where we want to live? Do we feel close enough to running errands, getting to the store? Does daily life feel easy? And are we still close to town? Are we actually close to Denver? Are we actually close to work? Are we not that far from the airport? And can we live the Colorado lifestyle and afford it? And Parker is a big green check mark across the board, which is why it's growing leaps and bounds. And the good news is there is more new construction coming. You've got neighborhoods like Tantera, Kime Ranch, Looking Glass, still growing. Now, before I sound like I'm employed by the chamber and I think everyone should move here and there's nothing wrong with Parker, there are downsides everywhere. So we are closer to Centennial Airport than some other suburbs, which means you do get some airport noise. But honestly, we have so many small airports along the Front Range. People that have money, like their toys, like to fly. There are very few places that you can be where you don't have some airplane noise, whether it's from our main airport, DIA, or these small ones. But you do get some, and Centennial's a pretty well-trafficked airport. Power lines. Parker has the cut through from part of this 100-mile-long power line run that starts out east and then cuts across into Highlands Ranch. So there are neighborhoods where power lines are pretty prevalent, and if you hate them, don't like them, don't want to see them, don't want to be near them, you have to pick pretty carefully where you're going to be. Traffic and the commute are not fun. The commute into Denver, depending on where you are in Parker, can certainly hit the hour mark. Same with Castle Rock. That's why Parker and Castle Rock kind of vie for some of the best places to be in South Denver, because Castle Rock is much farther south on I-25, but Parker takes you off 25 and can go pretty deep, like areas like the Pinery. Lifestyles can be a little bit different. But if you're closer to 25, if you're more in the newer sections, you have quick access to get on the interstate, maybe you bypass some of the log jam, you can shave off some time. And if you don't have to go during traffic hour, it makes a world of difference. I live in Parker, and if I don't have to go during traffic hour, I can get to downtown in 25 minutes. From my door to the parking lot at the airport, DIA, is 28 minutes. So it's convenient if you don't have to do it when everyone else is doing it. If you want to be one more person who makes the amazing decision to move to Parker or one of the other spots in South Denver, please reach out. I would be delighted to connect, and I will see y'all next week.